The US state of Illinois is getting a new flag. If you don't know much about Illinois, it's the state where Chicago is. Illinois residents can vote in Jan of 2025 to change their flag from this flag to any of these 10 finalists that were selected out of 5,000 submissions. If they want to keep the old flag, they can still vote to keep the old flag, or they can even vote for these two other extra flags, the Centennial Flag and the Sesquicentennial Flag. I will be rating all these flags using a unique grading system. I'm using the iconic Chicago flag, and the ratings will be from 0 to 4 Chicago flag stars. Okay, let's get started. So before we start rating flags, let's talk about why these US flags are being even redesigned. Well, honestly, they're pretty bad. And don't take my word for this. In 2001, the North American Vexillological Association made a survey and came up with a report. And this report is called Good Flag, Bad Flag, the Great NAVA Survey of 2001. In this report, they give some guidelines on what makes a good flag. And also they've rated Canadian and American provincial flags. So here are the guidelines they came up with. They say keep it simple. So even a kid should be able to draw it as what they prefer. Second thing is use 2 or 3 primary colors. And this kind of ties it with keep it simple, it goes a little further. Don't use too many colors, don't make it too complicated. And all the symbols used in the flag should be meaningful. It should have some relation to the land it's representing. And they say no letters or seals on the flag, and this is where most US state flags fail. And we're going to look at that just in a minute. And finally, it has to be distinctive, so no copying flags. You don't want it to be like Monaco and Indonesia where they're similar, or Chad and Romania. You can't even tell them apart, right? So let's look at how this survey rated the flags. We'll just look at the top 10 and the bottom 10 from the list. So here's the top 10. These are obviously good looking. Like, look at that. New Mexico, Arizona, Alaska, these are iconic flags. Most of the others here are also really, really good. But Maryland, I don't think it belongs this high in the list. It shouldn't be ranked this high. And look at the bottom 10 in their list. All of them are so similar. It's just a blue flag with the seal and the name of the state in there. And that's why most of these flags are being redesigned. Let's get started with the current Illinois flag. So this flag is just the state seal put on a white background. And the seal is similar to the US state seal. You can see the similarities in the two. And this number 1818 refers to the state formation. It was the 21st state to be admitted to the Union. And 1868 is the latest seal that was adopted. So the seal that you're seeing on the screen, it was adopted in 1868.
That's a nice seal, but not great on a flag, so 0.5 stars.
And next we have the Illinois Centennial Flag. And this flag looks way different. That's because it was designed by the same person who designed the Chicago flag, Wallace Rice. Oh wait, before we talk about this flag, we should talk about the Chicago flag first. So in the Chicago flag, the 3 white stripes represent the north side, the west side, and the south side of the city. The top blue band represents Lake Michigan and the north branch of the Chicago River. The bottom blue band represents the south branch of the river and the Great Canal. The 4 stars are for historical events that happened in Chicago. The first is the Great Fire of 1871. The second star is for World's Columbian Exhibition. The third star is for the Century of Progress Exhibition in 1933. And the final one is Fort Dearborn. Now, obviously, I'm not rating the Chicago flag. If I did, what would I say? I'm giving it 4 full Chicago flag stars because it is the Chicago flag. Okay. Now back to the Centennial Flag. This was designed by Wallace Rice. There are 21 stars in this flag, 10 at the top, 10 at the bottom, and 1 in the center. The top and the bottom blue bands represent the north and south states that were present in the Union before Illinois joined. And the blue stripe is supposed to represent Illinois. Now, this is a pretty nice flag, right? It's simple, uses minimal colors. It's pretty iconic. It has some representation, meaningful symbols. I think we should give it 3.25 Chicago flag stars. Okay, the next is the Sesquicentennial Illinois state flag. So this is pretty simple. You have the eye in the center and within it, how Illinois looks on the map. Your 21 stars trying to show that Illinois was the 21st state in the Union. And that's about it, and it's a pretty good flag. I think 3.5 Chicago flag stars. And next, the first new flag, and this is pretty good. It actually looks like the US flag, and it has 1 star, so it kind of represents a part of the US, like one state of the US. And the I means it's one of the states starting with I, right? So it's pretty nice. What they're going for is the star represents Chicago, 21 stripes to represent Illinois being the 21st state, and this is a great design. I should almost give it 4 stars, but I'm not sure, maybe 3.75. Okay, let's look at the next one. The next design doesn't look that great in the first glance, but it seems to have a lot of meaning in there. Because the dark blue colors represent the waters. You have Lake Michigan, Mississippi River, Illinois River, and the Ohio River. And then you have corn kernels in the center and a gear that form the state flag, which is violet. And corn represents the agriculture and the gear represents the industrial background that kind of built the state. This has pretty deep meaning, but I think the same meaning and the same elements can be designed a little better. So I'm actually going to rate it a little higher than the first start. Let's say 3.25 stars. It has a lot of potential is what I want to say. Wow, the next one's a bright flag. There are 21 stripes in total, and it kind of represents agriculture. It's pretty obvious, right? You can see all the green rows, and crops are usually planted in rows. And the 3 stars represent the 3 regions of the state: North, Central, and Southern. The meaning of the flag is nice. In my opinion, it's not that great looking as a flag. It can be used somewhere else. So 2 stars. Here's the next flag. There's a gold star in the center and then blue lines. So the blue part is supposed to represent Lake Michigan, and the circle represents Lincoln's top hat as viewed from above. It's hard to kind of make out a top hat in here. I don't know if you guys see it, but it's still better than the current flag. Don't get me wrong there. But compared to the others, I don't think this stands out that well, so 2.5 stars. Wow, this one looks great. And I feel this can actually even be the seal of the state. You have the border of Illinois shown over there, the silhouette of the map, and then Lincoln in center. If you haven't seen the Illinois license plate, it always has Land of Lincoln written on it, because Lincoln lived in Springfield, Illinois before becoming the president of the US. And then you have 21 stars, and 1 star standing out there is Chicago. That sounds a little weird, right? All the other stars are states, but this one is a city. It's definitely iconic looking. If I designed this, I would have done it slightly differently. Let's still say 3.5 stars. It's a really good flag. Whoa, the next one. It looks so similar to the North Korean flag. I don't want to rate it for that reason. It's too similar. The blue stripes represent the waters. So that's a pretty common theme that we've been seeing so far. It's a decently good flag design, you know, but yeah, the 21 stars, the water represented by blue, but too similar to North Korea flag. I'm skipping this, I'm not rating this. Okay, so the next one shows the monarch butterfly, which is the state butterfly, and it has 21 stars, same meaning again. So the meaning is fine, the meaning's good. The design's not too bad. Let's say 2.5 stars. And this next flag is same as the old flag. You know, if anybody's going to vote for this, you might just vote for the previous flag, right? Why bother changing it? What's the point of adding just few stripes on there? It still has the same design elements from the previous flag that didn't work, but it kind of looks a little better, so I'm going to say 0.75 instead of the initial 0.5 stars. Now, this is an interesting flag. I never usually see so many irregular lines on a flag. It's supposed to be similar to the French flag. All the colors are similar, the red, white, and the blue. And it's a vertical stripe pattern in a way. And the star is because of the state being a star contributor in the country. Now, if you look really closely, you can see Lincoln on the left, on the blue part, and the border of Illinois on the red part. So what it's supposed to represent is the past of the state, that's Lincoln, looking at the present, that's the state right now, which is pretty interesting if you ask me. It looks nice, but the squiggly lines look a little weird on a flag. So it's still nice, so 3.5 stars. Okay, this one is actually really similar to the other flag we saw, which had Lincoln in the center. 21 stars around here, and the Mississippi River and Lake Michigan are represented on the light blue on the sides. It's not a bad flag, let's say 3 stars. Let's bring up these flags all together and sort them by rating. So the top one, according to my rating, is the one that has the eye in the center, because this looks really iconic as a flag, even though all the designs are nice. And second, considerations for the 3 flags here. The 2 flags with Lincoln actually look good, and so does the Sesquicentennial Flag. And finally, in third position, I think you can consider the Centennial Flag and the one with the gear in there. But honestly, the gear one could be redesigned. So what did you think about the ratings? Which flag do you think should be the new flag of Illinois? We're going to find out soon once everyone's voted, and I hope people vote for a good flag. Alright, see you guys in the next one.